Hey guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. And today I am here to share with you a card using the Celebration Power of Hope bundle, which has the Power of Hope stamp set and the stone embossing folder. So the card we're making is this gorgeous one. So using some Stampin' blends, blender pen and a single Stampin' Write marker. So I'm throwing it all in there to colour this card. Now I did want to steal a few moments of your time. No one's popping on today. Am I live in the right spot, I wonder? This is very, very unusual. Aha, there we go. People will start popping in just a second. So what I did want to do is thank you all for joining. If you're popping in, say hi, even if you're watching on the replay. And if you haven't already, please subscribe or follow my videos and my page so you can see videos that I come out with in the future. So for those of you popping in, we're playing with Power of Hope. So what I did want to do today, a couple of things are happening in the Stampin' Up! World. I just want to steal a few moments before I go on to make this card to tell you about them. So our second celebration release is live, which is very good. So to bring in the end of celebration, which finishes on the 31st, I want to say 30th for some reason, finishes on the 30th of March. So this is the front of the new catalogue. I did a newsletter this morning. Link for that is below here on Facebook. If not, pop over to my blog and there's a blog post there. So just looking at the front, we've got this awesome stamp set and this vellum, which is very nice. It's embossed. We've got this beautiful designer series paper. So we've got some nice things in here, which is great. And in the catalogue, it shows all the celebration products, not just the new ones. Now, the other thing that is happening, if part of celebration is you get an awesome sign up special. So joining my team, getting your 20% discount on your products as a starter, that can go up to 25, which is great. And with that you receive the mini trimmer, which I can grab. So you grab the exclusive mini trimmer, you get a free stamp set of your choice and a sample pack of all the papers out of our mini catalogue, as well as $235 worth of product for $169. So it's a fantastic deal. But for the month of March, we have, as demonstrators, the opportunity to buy bundles, suites, products. There is one suite that has been released called Ornate Gardens, and I pre-ordered it last night. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I bought the whole suite. I couldn't help myself. 2 stamp sets, 2 matching die sets to those stamp sets, paper, an embossing folder, and really pretty gems. So that's something that you can get with your starter kit for joining my Wicked Woodies teams or another demonstrator if you're not in Australia. It's gorgeous, Margie, and I don't want anyone to miss out on sneak peeks, because you can get them for joining before the rest of our customers in April can grab them. So that's just my little now is the time to join, because you get your celebration special and you can get new product from the upcoming annual catalogue. So why not? My question is, why not? I know you all have wish lists more than $169. I know. I see your faces in class and I see all your comments when I do my videos. So I know what your wish lists are roughly. And I know some people who need to use some sets. Hey, Cindy. Okay, what I'm going to do I'm going to spin around. My actual video is already up and running, and I will go back and say hello to everyone now that I've had my little, hey, this is what's going on, don't miss out. So I hope you all had a spectacular weekend. I didn't have too bad a one, actually. I did lots of school. Well, I helped the boys with a number, sorry guys, with a number of their assessment tasks. Sorry, didn't mean to give you all weirdness there. Okay, so that's better, I think. Except I need to flick us back around so we can read correctly. So that looks good. I'll go get rid of our shadows and we will get making. I'll bring in all the things. Oh, and there goes one on the floor. They're all the things we're using to colour in this card. Okay. Light is off. So this card I made with my customers in our February class, and I also made a number of these for my team for my February swaps, and I saw them on the weekend. Hey, now I'm going to go back and say hello. Hello Jenny, Kathy, Joanne, Teresa, Chris, Cindy, Margie, Linda and Shelley. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Oh, it's always lovely to see you too, Shelley. Right, I haven't missed any comments, so let's go. I do think I'm missing a piece of this white paper out of my little pack here, but what I can do, I can just cut a piece down. But what I thought I would start with, I have polystyrofoam all over my desk. My son had to make a DNA model which was due today, so I was a nice mum and drove them to school rather than them getting the bus, so he could deliver his DNA without getting squashed. If that is sunshine, I want some. What do you mean sunshine? This is my artificial lights. It's a really dull day outside. We had an extremely hot day yesterday, and we had a very, very nice cool change come through last night, and now we have a very mild autumn day. It's now autumn. It's a bit weird, but anyway, so I'm going to start with my embossing. Now, for those of you who do own Big Shots and have our new style embossing folders, you will need to get the blue embossing plate. Now this is because our 3D embossing folders are slightly slimmer than our old ones when we were partnered with Sizzix. So this thicker plate just makes it so we can emboss. So this is our Noble Peacock foil paper. Now if you have missed this in the catalogue, whoops. And this is Blueberry Bushel in colour, and the other colours it comes in the pack is Old Olive and Pretty Peacock. So it's a beautiful set of foils. No, this is my lights. I have great lighting in my craft room, Cindy. I have, because I've got cupboards just above me here, I have angled LED lights under my desk, so I always have great lighting day or night. So I've embossed this one, and I'm thinking of doing a debossed version just for something different, because I've made them all the same way. So for my last card, I just want to do it a bit different. Now I always put it in spine first, so we don't put any stress on the embossing folder, and that is the same through any die cut embossing machine that you have. Okay, that is that done. That can go away. Right, now let's see how our debossing went, because we put it in upside down. Oh, see, that looks pretty too. Oh, I like that. So the grout lines are popping up rather than going in. Just different. Okay, so I need my Whisper White paper that has been, my son got rid of a whole lot of my scraps, which was amazing. So I have no scraps. Now, something I need to tell you Aussies. I found after my last video, these are the Avery job ticket holders that I keep my paper in. I said the postage was horrendous. If you are an Amazon Prime member in Australia and you spend over $50 on international orders, as in things that come from another country, it's free shipping for these. And these are about $15 for a pack of 6 or 10, something like that. So yeah, I just went yay, because a couple of mine are ripped at the moment because I put my whole hand in it. I do naughty things which I shouldn't, and put extra stress on them. Okay, so we're looking at 6 and a touch centimetres. Don't you like and a touch? Oh, I better do the height as well. Better do the height. And this one is just under 10. Okay. So then that way I'm not wasting the whole width of one. So that's 9.8 and a smidge. And then, what did I say? Just over 6. So 6 and a smidge. Right. Done. I will keep that scrap. Great for sentiments. I do make exceptions with my scraps, and it's normally my Whisper White if it's a decent amount. Okay, so now that we have that piece, I am going to get, yeah, come off. It doesn't want to come off. How rude. Okay, trimmer away. Got this. Let's get all our stamps on blocks. So I'll talk about this while I mount all these. We're using 4 different colours. So we're using Early Espresso, Cherry Cobbler ink, Shaded Spruce, and Memento. So we're not going too crazy. And then the blends colours, we're using Shaded Spruce in, I think it's the light. We're using Cherry Cobbler. We are using Night of Navy, which matches Berry Bushel perfectly. For the ground, we're using Soft Seafoam, and for the sky, we are using Pool Party. Hello, Julie. Thank you for joining. Good to see your alarm worked. And I'm not using a sentiment on this because it is quite busy all by itself without a sentiment. But you could use one of, I'm assuming one of these two would work well just on the edge, or you could, I might do that and show you what I mean. So I will need, I don't have a piece of scrap paper ready. Yes, I do. It's all good. I'll grab one from class. So these are pretty much expired. They've been, well, this one underneath has been wet and is crinkly, so I'll use that one just for a scrap piece. Look, you can even see some of the projects we've made with it. Okay. Oh my dear word. Right. ink colours. Cherry Cobbler, Early Espresso, Shaded Spruce, and Memento. So what I started with this card is actually the lanterns. I just found if I stamp the lanterns, then everything else sort of I could spatially make work. Thank you, Emily. I'm glad you like it. I like this one as well. I have used this celebration set so much more than what I expected. So I'm just going to put one here and then making it like a swag, just like that. And what I'm also going to take is just the Stampin' Right marker in Cherry Cobbler and use the pen end and just draw in the string or the, I don't know, words are escaping me. Just draw in the line that it will hang from. Okay, so that's it. Finish with that. And I'm going to do all my stamping, and then I will go and go in and do all my colouring. Okay, so next, so we're sort of working top to bottom. So next I'm going to take my Early Espresso and do our pagoda. And the pagoda's quite big, so if I stamped it in the middle, it'd look great, but I wouldn't have room for the geisha. So what I do is stamp it partially off. So then you see majority of it, and you know it's a pagoda, but it's not taking up so much space on the stamped piece that it's overwhelming. So I'm being good and closing all my ink pads up as I go. Look at me. Next I'm going to do the geisha. Hey Philomena, thanks for joining. So because this one is definitely got some heavy colouring on it, I do definitely want to use Memento so there is no bleeding. Now I somehow got the geisha totally on this one, like the full body, but in every card I've made since I haven't been able to, but she's there, she's looking beautiful. That's all that matters. Now next we're going to use our tree as a shrub. Now I know I've shown you this before. Hey Maria, thanks for joining. So I'm just going to stamp up, or ink up rather, the top bit and just stamp that down just like that. In this one I use two, this one I'm just using one, and in all the other ones I just use one. So that is all our stamping done and completed. So the first bit of colouring I am going to do, and do you know what? Learn from my mistakes in previous cards and just get that ink off my thumb to start off with. Hey Rose, thanks for joining. Okay, hopefully that excess ink is gone now. Hand sanitizer is my absolute best friend here in the craft room. So I have our blender pen. So this pen, mine is stained, but it just has a blender solution, and I've showed you this before. And what it does, it sort of just adds a bit of hydration without being a big aqua painter to the image, and I can pick up the stamp lines that I've already stamped, because these inks aren't permanent, or these the Memento this wouldn't work on, but our coloured inks this works on perfectly. So it just rehydrates it just a touch, and I can do that. Now I am going to go straight into the early espresso, so I just scribble off any ink, and now I can go straight into here without any red. And you can, I'm going to leave some of these bits so I can put some red accents. Yes, under there was also that. And I'm also going to do a bit of the ground. And I think that's it. Everything else will be red. Scribble it out. My blender pen's ready to go for next time. So I think the first bit I will do, I'll grab our, now I could use the marker for this, but because I was using blends, I've just grabbed out my blends just to give a nice, smooth, consistent look. So this is the dark cherry cobbler. I just love how vibrant it is in these little strut headers. I don't know what you call them. Okay, that's our pagoda. Done, done, done. Hey Linda, thanks for joining. So that is 3 markers totally out of the way here. Next I am going to do Shaded Spruce Light. Now on this one I did use the blender pen and I didn't like how it came out. So for the rest of them I've just gone through with the Shaded Spruce Light and just coloured this in, just like that. Now it will lighten back a little bit, which is great. I think I might use all my single markers first. So I'm going to do, this is the ivory marker, and I'm just going to do her chin and the nape of her neck, just so she looks like a person. Okay, and on my other, now the black in her hair is also a single colour, and I just use light basic black because her hair is such a small piece. I did try blending and you don't see any of the blending because the lines are quite dark, so I just went in with the light basic black, which will once again lighten back. And let's go and do the ground, and the ground I have used dark seafoam, and I'm just following the line out, and I can totally go over the shaded spruce, won't make an issue. I've just gone out from the ground on the pagoda and just one single layer, no blending, no adding extra shadows or anything. So that's the ground done in the seafoam, and then I have the light pool party for the ground up. Now we do, oh that's okay Roz, not a problem. We do have to be careful with this colour around the cherry cobbler because it is a colour, now not the cherry cobbler blend, the normal cherry cobbler ink, because it does like to run. It's just a colour that likes to run, which is a touch annoying. I'm not being terribly specific around the geisha because that is all going to be coloured, and I'm liking using the straight lines because that very much mimics a streaky sky. As I said, just trying to be a touch more careful around these. So no particular colouring technique unless you call doing streaky lines a particular technique, and I don't mind if there are some white areas. So there you go, that's our background. And just if I think I've got any red on the tip, I can just scribble it out. So all we've got left is the kimono and the parasol. Now, if you feel your lid isn't going on, just pull it off and just make sure that you're not crushing your nib, because I've done it. Now, I'm using Smoky Slate in Dark and Light for the parasol. So what I start with, use all my might to open this. I go in with the dark, just pop some shadows and go over these parasol lines. And I'm not being, because this is quite a sketchy image, I don't need to be terribly precise. And then I'm going in and I'm doing an overall colour wash, and then I'll just go over all those lines just to soften them up a touch. But I still want to be able to see the shadows, but I don't necessarily want them so harsh. Now, I did just get a touch of that Smoky Slate on her skin, so I'm just going to grab back the ivory and just pop a bit on. Actually, that looks good. Looks like a bit of a shadow, but it's looking much better than what it was. Okay, now for our final bit of colouring. This is very simple colouring. We've got our Night of Navy. Now for this, two of those lines, I think, of the chopsticks in her hair. And do you know what? They can stay Smoky Slate. Thank you for that, Chris. Hello, Miss Vicky. Thank you for joining. So I did try to colour this light then dark, and I didn't quite get the definition that I was after and the shadowing. Oh my God, my hands aren't working today. Right, so I want to make this side dark. I want to make her obi dark and her collar just under here, the creases, her arm. That's pretty much it. Now we'll go in and do an overall wash and blend those lines out. I do love using this Night of Navy. It is a beautiful colour. Oh, not that end. Do you know? No, there are not replacements to the tips, but I will say these markers are fairly inexpensive. But no, we don't have refills to the markers either. So I know in Australia they're like $7.50 per marker, or they are $15 something for the pair. So I see that as for the life I get out of them. Even though I have had some that are damaged, I definitely have still been able to use them with a damaged tip. Or I've donated them to the Lachlan Fund. So that's that coloured. That didn't take us very long at all. Oh, should I say me, but you were supporting me. And I do like that that tree is a bit more prominent. Do you know what I might do? I might get that shaded spruce and just, because I do like the definition of it. Just being very careful along these edges of my original card. There you go. I like that. So much nicer. It's just creates the definition between the ground do I want a second layer of, no, I like the smoky, what's it called? Soft sea foam. I did use a slightly bluer ground on that, but I prefer the soft sea foam. So guess what? We're up to assembly. So we have previously used the stone embossing folder right at the start to emboss this, and I put it in upside down. So I would have it raised grout lines just for something different. I have a piece of smoky slate. This is half an A4. Where is my... can I get it? Can I get it? There we go. No, no, no. It's caught. And do you know what? I think I moved my whole screen there. Spinning that around. Just to bring that back a touch. We'll see how that looks in a second. So that's my card base done. A piece of cherry cobbler. And I can use... Oh no, that's worse. I don't know what I've done here. Okay, so just using wet glue, my multi-purpose adhesive. I won't use the multi-purpose adhesive on my foil because it tends to buckle the foil, which is not fun at all because you can see it through there. I'm sorry that we're on such a bad angle. I'll stand up in a sec. And oh my dear word, I cut that piece way too short. But it's a good thing I have my trimmer, my mini trimmer handy. That's maybe why it's all a bit squished, but that's okay. We still made it work and it looks lovely. Okay, that one. I don't need this glue anymore. Just making sure I'm not missing any comments. So I just use my snail adhesive for the foil. And you do just need to make sure that you press it down really well. So just burnish it down with your fingers really, really well. The good thing about this is, oh, I got down fairly straight. Handmade, not Hallmark. So just give it a nice burnish so it adheres. I will grab that mini trimmer and just trim off the excess at the bottom. Perfect. Love that sound. It's so precise. Thank you, Philomena. And we'll use some dimensionals. And I'm going to see if the placement of the stamped piece will allow me to pop in a sentiment. We'll see if we can make that work. Because obviously for this card I've popped it in the middle, but like if I put it in like the bottom left or bottom right corner, although I definitely put it in the bottom left corner, otherwise she'll be looking off the card rather than in the middle of the card. Yes, I do that as well often, but I didn't today. It's only just sitting over there. I do definitely have them within arm's reach. Where's my dish? Dish for my little rubbish. Otherwise it ends up over the floor like all the polystyrene, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it's a great bundle. I'm so glad that I have used it so much. I mean, there's so many fantastic ideas and really simple things demonstrators have done with it, with just stamping and just using one image, which have been beautiful. But I don't like casing other people's ideas. I'll take inspiration, but I'm just not a fan of casings. So I mean, just because I'm sharing things on a video, I don't want to share someone else's idea, although I have seen a number of demonstrators use the embossing folder with foil. Okay, so I still don't think this one, you could have it on a tab coming out there. I know, I just don't want to cover the foil because it's so pretty. But you can definitely use the other ones. So you could use the other ones up here just on a strip. But I really just like it sentimentless. And then I can use the other sentiments or just handwrite my sentiment in the middle. So let's get in what I have used today. Doesn't matter which card I show really, but let's show that one. So we have used Power of Hope stamp set, the stone embossing folder. Now these come as a pair. So what I mean by that is it's a second tier celebration item, and you get them in Australia for spending $180, and you so you can't get them separately, they come together as a bundle. What else? I've used all these blends, the marker and the blender pen, just grabbing out all my inks. So these are the 3 normal inks I've used, and I've used our Memento. So not too much. Hey Margine, thank you. Not too many extra bits and bobs I've used here, but yeah, I'm really glad. I love this card. Made it with my class, made it for my team, and they all loved it. Now don't forget, we do have the second celebration that started today. So it has 3 new stamp sets and 2 new sets of papers in addition to our other celebration items. So if you want to shop with me, please do. I would appreciate that. And if you wanted to join my team and have a look at the ornate garden, it's called Ornate Garden Suite, that is available. You can get that in your kit when you sign up. So if you would like to sign up and save 20% off your Stampin' Up products, please contact me and I can give you some more information. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back later in the week, possibly Friday, because I have the house to myself right now. I had a girlfriend over for a cuppa this morning, and the peace is beautiful. There's no sound, no one stealing my internet. It's beautiful. My pleasure, Kathy. I'm always happy to share. I'm not sure what I will share with you, but when my ornate garden stuff comes in, I will do an unboxing and share it all with you. And you can see what you can get either now if you join as a demonstrator, or what you can get next month. And it's a new bundle from the upcoming annual catalogue. So everyone have a great day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. And I will see you later in the week. Thanks, guys. Bye.